Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Rampage from Dallas, Texas. To open the show, we had a trios match, the undefeated 24-0 Gun Club versus the Blackpool Combat Club making their debut. The Gun Club are undefeated, as I said, and it's definitely in jeopardy tonight as the team of the John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta don't look like they are going to lose very easily or really anytime soon. AEW must be building towards trios titles. There are so many trios at this point, and it has to be on the horizon. I'm very excited to see Yuta perform under the tutelage of Regal, Danielson, and Moxley, and he starts to show the training already as Regal starts to mention he's using holds that they have already worked on. He's showing an impressive side of himself, and he locks in a bridge figure four and then lets Bryan come in to manipulate Colton Gunn. The Guns do show some life with Billy using his size to get the edge, and they wear down Bryan in the corner for a little bit. It doesn't take long for Moxley to come in and give his team's control again, and then hits a double DDT on the Ass Boys, the Blackpool Combat Club, as Bryan and Moxley clear out the ring and go for a dive to the outside, but they get laid out by Billy, who eyes up Yuta. Yuta then reverses Billy, ducks another move from him, and rolls him up deep for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave this a great. That was a really great way to show Yuta's technical ability as well. I mean, we've already seen what Yuta can do. It's amazing. We're building from here. We then get a unannounced or unadvertised, I should say, match for the Butcher. He is facing off against a Dallas local talent, I guess we call him. He picks him apart, just dominates him for about a minute, and then hits a very deep stack powerbomb pin for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good. We are clearly trying to show the Butcher is a credible opponent for Wardlow, where he'll inevitably be murdered by Wardlow this Dynamite. We then get Dustin Rhodes talking about how he's been on this one last ride, he kind of called it, for a very long time. And he's making, he's challenging one of the greatest of all time in a dream match for him. He is challenging CM Punk next week on Dynamite, the best in the world versus the natural, as he refers to it. I love it. If you've never seen Dustin cut a promo, I've had the privilege of watching it live. He is something else. Just amazing to watch. People were bowing at his feet, and he had turned the entire room on them in seconds. It was incredible. I loved it. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. He is just so amazing on another level of intensity for promos. If you are trying to learn about promos, Dustin is a good guy to watch. We then get a Owen Hart Foundation women's tournament qualifier. Ruby Soho versus Robin Renegade. Ruby and Robin look to join the elite talent that is stacking up in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament on the women's side here. We don't have, I think, just one member for the men's. I believe it's Joe. Ruby has a chip on her shoulder when it comes to tournaments, coming up just short in the TBS tournament. Robin, though, is looking to make a name for herself, and a win over Ruby would certainly do just that. They started really strong, and Ruby looks like she may have the experience edge where she's wearing down Robin quickly, but Robin shows that she is not to be underrated, I guess you could say. She comes back and quickly starts to wear down Ruby in the corner, and she continues this for a while. Ruby, though, shows her heart and makes Robin pay as she starts to come back. And then while the ref's back is turned and kind of holding Ruby off, uh, it appears Robin has a twin. They switch places, and it's apparently Charlotte, as the commentators let us know. She tries to take out Ruby but fails, rolls out of the ring herself, out the opposite end. This allows Robin to come back in, roll up Ruby. That fails. Ruby then hits, I don't know what else to call it, than an aggressive face buster, and she gets the win here. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good. The one thing I want to kind of point out, I've noticed, we got a couple more announcement for these qualifiers. The women's matches seem to be relatively obvious who's going to win. You look at this match, you assume Ruby's probably going to win this match. I thought they were going to pull a swerve here with the twin thing. I had no idea Robin had that. That would have been really good. They didn't do that. It's fine. I hope some of these future matches get a little more unpredictable. We do have Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly, I believe it is. And that looks like we don't know who's gonna win there, but some of them are obvious and some of them just, it feels like a lot of them are really obvious, and that's just my opinion. Nothing against that, because some of them need to be obvious, obviously, but my 2 cents there. Mark Henry then talks with the main event competitors, and he asks Adam Page if he has thought this through. He has had a Texas Death Match recently against Lance Archer, so I think he has thought it through. Page says he's more than ready, and Adam should have been writing his will. Adam Cole says he will remind the world that he is the better Adam, and that he will beat Adam Page tonight and take the world title. That would be something else, seeing the world title change hands tonight. It's a very rare thing. Adam Cole is definitely a credible world champion. I don't know. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good. This kind of just felt like a rehash of the stuff they've been saying anyways. We then get our Texas Death Match, the AEW World Championship. Hangman Adam Page defending against Adam Cole. AEW, I love them. They give us these pay-per-view style matches that would main event any pay-per-view any day of the year, but they give it for free on TV. Adam Page and Adam Cole are two of the best performers in AEW, and Page looks like the intensity has hit a whole new level for him. Both men are dressed in their best street gear, and by that, of course, I mean jeans. They waste no time at all, spilling to the outside and slowly getting more and more aggressive. We start to brawl into the fans, and Page gets handed a beer and smashes it over Cole's head before taking a swig, of course. He's basically the new age Steve Austin, and it's kind of cool. Page then gets them back in the ring, where he grabs a chair and goes for a moonsault off the top rope, but Cole stops, or Cole goes to pump fake him, and then Page saws that, so he pump fakes him. He hits the moonsault, and then hits Page or Cole with the chair, doing that at the same time. Cole then gets back up and lays out Page and grabs a chain from under the rope and ties it to the top rope, and then uses the chain for a clothesline to take out Page. Page then fires back, sending Cole flying through the chairs that he had set up back to back. And Page goes for a moonsault to the outside, but Cole hits the most well-placed super kick I've ever seen. I believe it made some form of contact, because Page's chin was bleeding. I don't believe he would have bladed his chin. I don't know per se, but it didn't look like it. It was the most well-placed. It was just so amazing. Well, he was upside down, just boom, right on the chin. Page is able to fight back miraculously. He has Cole dead to rights, it looks like. He's tying him to the rope with his belt. He then grabs a barbed wire wrapped steel chair. He hesitates, and he decides he can't do it. He unties Cole, and Cole low blows him. He goes to lower the boom, but Page stops him, grabs some wire, wraps it around his arm. Cole then goes for the Panama Sunrise, but Cole punches him with the barbed wire arm, and then hits a deadeye through the table after giving Cole a halo of barbed wire. Page slides himself in the ring and answers the count, but Cole cannot. Hangman Adam Page retains the AEW World Championship. What a match. For my WTR scale, I gave this a great. They did fantastic. I cannot say anything more. That was just one of my favorite matches, and that just keeps changing in AEW. They just do so well. My overall for the show, it was a very good show. They did very well booking this. I really have no complaints. My segment of the night, it goes to the Dustin promo. He is an amazing promo. I love listening to him. I could hear him talk all day long. My match of the night goes to the Texas Death Match. They did amazing. The performers of the night, of course, go to Adam Page and Adam Cole. They were phenomenal. I mean, they tore the house down. But that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one.